Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to another episode of TekTopia. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the exact title and thumbnail of this video is going to be, but I'm willing to bet there's something on there related to villager breeding. And the villager breeding that's going to take place today is not going to involve any of these guys right here. None of the TekTopia citizens will be needed for today's build. It's actually all going to be revolving around just regular Minecraft vanilla villagers. And we haven't really seen much of them in this series, aside from Starchy, who is I believe he's a cleric in the top of a crow's nest in Eriduin on one of the boats. I did a little bit of training with him, but aside from that, I tried to not incorporate the vanilla villagers into this series because the only way you can get them is from curing zombie villagers, so it just seems a bit wrong to bring normal villagers into TekTopia, considering we got the much better versions here. But I think my reasoning as to why I'm going to be building this villager trading hall and breeder and all that sort of stuff is a pretty sound reason, and I've already explained myself multiple times in this series, but some of you may have missed that before or just forgotten my reasoning as to why I want to do this. So I will explain why we're being a little bit cheaty here in TekTopia, but I'll save that for when we're actually building up the trading hall and everything else we're going to be doing today. But before we start that, a quick recap on what we did in the last episode, which was building this building right here, and it still has this super annoying lighting glitch that will just not go away. I'm doing a little bit of pre-recording here with this series, so if any of you have left comments telling me how to fix it, I probably wouldn't have seen them just yet. In fact, I know they haven't, or I know I haven't. So for the meantime, this horrible shadow still exists on one of my favorite buildings in the city, but if we just try our best to ignore it, yeah, this is what we made in the last episode, and it's a Avengers Tower inspired building made for our guards, which currently do not exist. I've had a little bit of another break from TekTopia just because I've been busy with some other things, so it's actually been a little while since I've been in this world, but I don't think we never bought the barracks because I think we ran out of emeralds, so maybe today we can stock this with some stuff if all goes well with the villager trading. But yeah, this is what we made in the last episode, and now we're ready to start on this one, just as the sun is going down. I better head to bed. So the villager breeder and trading hall that we're going to be making today will actually be incorporated into the city on one of these larger platforms, and not today, but we will be covering it up at some point in time because it's going to look quite ugly. I've done my best to try and make it look at least symmetrical, the actual breeder and trading hall, but it's not gonna cut the mustard and be able to stay like that in the city. So at some point in time we will cover it up, but once again I'll do some more talking about that later. I just have to decide right now which of these three platforms I would like to build it on. I think we should leave this platform open. It is the one that's opposite our large apartment building over here. I'm thinking we're not going to need more than another one of these giant buildings. Like if we just copied something, not exactly the same of course, but similar in size and capacity, then we're probably not going to need a third or a fourth one on the remaining two platforms. I think the apartment here holds something like 140, 130 villagers. I'm not sure on the exact number. 136 is coming to mind for some reason, but I could be wrong. So if we doubled that, then, well, it's going to be probably more than enough for what I need villager-wise. So yeah, if we leave this platform open for now until we later end up having to build another one of these, although the apartment is like a quarter full at the moment, maybe not even that, maybe like an eighth. No, I'm not sure. We got loads of room left, so that one will be not being built for quite a long time, but that does leave us with two larger open platforms. Now, one of them obviously can be our villager trading hall and villager breeder, but I'm not sure what the other one's going to be. However, I do not need to cross that bridge yet. I will figure that out when I need to. So this build is going to take me a long time from start to finish, so I should probably stop dilly-dallying and rambling on and just get started with the build. Whilst in the process, I'm going to explain to you guys why we're actually doing this. Before we start any of that explaining, I would just like to say that the villager breeder and the villager trading hall that we're building in this time lapse are not my designs. They are from Frilioth, who made the villager breeder, and SZ Petty is the one who made the trading hall. Both of these have been altered ever so slightly just to kind of fit my needs and fit well in the platform, but the core concept of how they're made is from those videos. So both of those links are in the description if for whatever reason you're looking to make a villager breeder system in 1.12 Minecraft. I doubt any of you are, but it's there if you need it. And of course, you know, credit where credit is due. So why am I building this giant emerald machine is pretty much what it's going to be. Isn't it going to make the merchant completely pointless in this series? Well, yeah, it kind of is, to be honest. So I've actually mentioned this a couple of times in my videos. Most of you probably know by now, but in case you don't, allow me to explain. So the main reason and the solid one behind why I'm doing this is because it's gonna save me so much time. This series has now just become one that I'm able to make when I have the time, so the less time I can spend waiting around for the merchant grinding out the emeralds, the better, honestly, because you'd be surprised how long it takes for me to get all the emeralds together to buy a smithy token, say, for the blacksmith we just built, or get all of the profession tokens to hand out to the new villagers. Having a near enough, hopefully infinite supply of emeralds is gonna completely eradicate that problem. Thus, I will be able to make more episodes. So, in the grand scheme of things, it kind of works out best for all of us. But yeah, for those of you worried about just the merchant not being in the videos anymore and me completely ignoring him, I'll try my best to, you know, maybe do a little bit of trading every now and again, not completely blank him in all corners of life. Just, yeah, you know, I'm gonna be using this as my main emerald supply from now on. Hopefully you guys can understand that. Okay, so here it is, our villager breeder and villager trading hall, minus the villagers, of course. That's what we got to get started on soon. But before we do, let me explain what is going on here. Obviously, if you want a proper, you know, in-depth explanation and a tutorial, then check out the links below, but I'll give you a very brief explanation on how this works. So over here around the back, these doors up here and this little container is our villager breeder. So we're going to have one villager at the top there in the village is technically what it's meant to be. We got the doors up there. That's how they work in the older version of Minecraft, of course. It's not beds in this one, it's doors. So we're going to have a villager in the top there, and we're going to have two villagers on top of the sea lantern here, and then these are the guys that will breed because they think they're part of that village and pop out the babies, and they, whoops, not all the way down here, they will fall into this water stream, and then from all of my testing, they always go to one of the sides. I know you may be thinking that they might get stuck in this if they like land perfectly and are just straight on. I tested it for a long time and that didn't happen once, but even if they did, it's bound to happen again, and then they would probably get, you know, pushed to the side and go into one of these water streams, right? So basically they need to go into one of the corners, and I should actually have a minecart here to show you how this is going to work. So let me go grab one of them, go to bed, and I can show you that in action. Oh boy, I may actually have to go mining at some point or another. I've pretty much exhausted all of the other villages' iron supplies at this point, so I have this much iron in total. I've just been using a lot of it here in this city, and yeah, a mining trip may actually be in order, but just for now, let's get ourselves 6 minecarts. That should be okay to start out with. And by the way, the villagers are all doing good. As you can see, they've just woken up from their long sleep of about 2 minutes. Feel like I haven't even shown you guys them this episode. So yeah, they're all good. Haven't had any issues. They're still working away. Everything is flowing rather smoothly in the city. Isn't it, Mr. Merchant? See, I haven't forgotten about him. I'm still putting him in the videos. Look at this guy. He's got some great trades for me. Some I should maybe make use of, but very shortly I'm going to be able to get so many emeralds using that thing. So the idea is, because the villagers will be going to either side roughly 50-50, kind of sharing the load, we're going to put the same amount of minecarts in each of these sides, so they just have 3 for now. and one of them actually needs to be starting on the rail. So if we just put it on that one down there, and same again with the other side, kind of get the minecart moving, and you can see how this is going to work. Let me just hop up so I'm not going to be in the way. So if we plop that down there, you can see it doesn't quite have enough momentum to reach that powered rail and then go into the actual trading hall. So you can pick up a mob through the corner of a block. So let's say I'm a villager and I've just been picked up through the corner of that water stream there, and I'm now in the minecart. I'm heavy enough that I kind of push the minecart all the way up into here, and this is what will happen. I will fall through into the trading hall where I'm kind of like stuck in place now, right? So I think the best thing to do now is to hop out and try to get out of the farm, although there isn't really an easy way to do that. Can I fly somehow? No, I'm going to shut the fence gate. Okay, this works. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, so let's pretend a villager is in this little spot. I can trade with him, and if I want to keep him, then, well, I just leave him be. But let's say I get a nitwit, for example. Completely useless. Don't want them. I then press this button, and they fall down into the water stream. And you can kind of see the minecart flowing all the way along here, and pretty much they just do that until they get to this central spot right here. And all I'm going to do... This is not the best way to deal with it, I'm fully aware, but I'm going to dig down through this little section, and they're just going to fall into the ocean in their minecarts and thus drown. And then I'll just come around and, you know, collect the minecarts afterward every now and again. It's not the cleanest system. I know there's probably better ways to do it, but that is honestly just the quickest. And, you know, I don't mind just diving to the bottom of the ocean every now and again to collect some carts. And yeah, they're going to get stuck on that block every now and again, but that's absolutely fine, because the next villager that comes along that I don't want to keep, well, I can just, you know, he'll push the minecart even further, but, you know, I could also do that too. So, you know, it's come back, please. I don't want to... Oh, I didn't want to go in the ocean again. It's fine. We're back out. So, you know, it's not perfect. There are some improvements I could make, but for what I need, that is absolutely fine. So yeah, the gist of it is I plan to fill up all of these spots with some helpful villagers, and then we also have this open gap in the middle so that when all of the spots are full on both sides, any excess villagers that get breeded up and put into the system, maybe without me noticing, they'll just fall through and, you know, suffer the same fate as the other villagers, which is drowning in the ocean. And of course, once I collect the minecarts from the drowned villagers, I would then just go back to these chests here. And which one did I go in? I think it was this one. So I just put the minecart back in, ready to be used again. But hopefully I'll be able to fill all of these up fairly quickly. Probably not in today's episode. In fact, I am sure of that. I don't know how much trading we're going to be able to do today. I don't really have anything to trade at the moment. That's kind of the next thing. Once this is all working, figuring out a bunch of farms to make to trade them with. I'm thinking sugarcane for paper is going to be my go-to. But yeah, they'll just be nice and full up hopefully at some point in time, and then it will kind of make the actual breeder not needed anymore. But that's some distance down the line. The last thing I would just quickly like to do before we can start going to get some villagers is making this hole look a little bit better. And I'm thinking, yeah, just some more cyan on the side. Just fill this in nicely so we can't see the gap I've left in between the layers, because I'm lazy and it's not needed. Anyway, let's go prepare to get some of these villagers. Actually, before we do that, I have something very quickly to mention, and I know I've been doing a lot of talking at the moment. I'm sorry, just allow me to explain this, otherwise I'll probably forget later. So, as far as covering this up goes, we will be covering it up with something. Do not worry. I've actually designed a building in my test world. It's virtually ready to go. It's actually really quite nice. I'm excited to show you guys it. However, I'm not going to be making it anytime soon, and that's because in my test world, when I built the building around this thing, in particularly the breeder up here, it caused some complications and things didn't really work as well anymore. The villagers kind of stopped breeding for some reason, even though I've actually got, I don't know if you guys can see this up here, over on the left hand side you can see no village found. I've installed a mod that will tell me if there's a valid village or not, and it was saying there was. This is in my test world, of course, when I had all of the villagers in. It was saying it worked, but after I made the building they just weren't producing, and then they were, and then they weren't again. So yeah, I have a feeling that making surrounding this with blocks is going to break it a little bit. So I would just kind of like to get all of the villagers up in place, all traded up before I actually cover it up. So yeah, we will be covering it. Do not worry. It's not going to be staying like this, but it will be for quite a few episodes to come. So here we have my zombie villager catching machine. Usually whenever I try and catch zombie villagers, I basically just wing it, and I've never set anything like this up. So I'm trying to do this in the least stress-free way possible, or the most stress-free way possible. I don't want stress. The villagers are not easy to work with, so the easier we can make this for myself, then the better. So pretty much what we have to do is wait around for nighttime, which is going to be a little while. The sun has only just risen, but we're going to hope to find some zombie villagers nearby on this section of land, and I'll get them to follow me across. And let's just say we got one in tow as an example. I'll lead them up into one of these 3 areas. Let's just use the middle one here. I'll climb up here, him still following me, close these trapdoors, walk across to the other side and reopen them. He is going to see that as 2 full blocks, thinks he can get to me, and hopefully he'll fall through into this little hole where, as you can see, he is trapped, and we got blocks above, so he's not going to burn if it happens to be daylight. And yeah, that's basically the same for all 3 of these sections. So fingers crossed, this should be nice and simple. I feel like the hardest thing is just going to be waiting around for the zombie villagers to actually spawn. But when they do, I've got everything on me prepared and yeah, ready to go. Boats to get them back over to our city, the weakness potions and the golden apples to cure them. Now, all that's left to do is wait for the moon to show up. So here we have our first volunteer. Didn't take too long at all to find this guy. As you can see, we're barely into the night, but just come on land here and we'll get you feeling much better, my friend. And by the way, this leaf, still here. I'm not sure how or why, but yeah, that thing has been here for a long time. Okay, just follow me this way, my friend, and let's see if this actually works as intended. So I hop up here, close these trapdoors so I can come across, and if you just keep on walking, yep, go across those trapdoors. Wonderful. Just gonna close them up in case anything else falls in, and hey, we might as well cure him while I'm thinking about it. So if we just open this up, chuck this at his face, give him that, and yeah, he can go on curing while I look for 2 more zombie villagers. I think I just spotted one over here somewhere in the dense forest. That's a skeleton. Oh, come on. I could have swore I saw a weird looking zombie. Maybe I didn't. I've got hitboxes on, by the way, just because it's so much easier to find them. Little trick, if you're looking for mobs, you know, whether it be zombie villagers or ocelots in a jungle, that's another time this is helpful. Put on hitboxes, F3 and B, you can toggle them like that. They stand out a lot easier, or a lot more. Either works. Come on, buddy, be a bit quicker. The moon is going down. You're going to start burning soon. Get onto the land. There we go. Okay, now follow me. You can go in the middle section here. Are you a villager now? I think you are. That is great. You are not needed. Please leave. Let's try not to shoot our friend here. Oh, goodness. Leaving this a bit last minute, but there we go. Fall in position. Wonderful. Let's give you a bit of a splash. There you go, my friend. And you can also have a golden apple. Hopefully, you can feel better soon. And I do not think we're going to get the 3rd one in this night. In fact, I'm almost sure of it because they're all going to start burning soon. So I think whilst I wait for the next night, hello friend, you got a cleric. That is very nice. I'm going to take these 2 over and get them in the bottom half of the breeder. And hopefully by the time I've done that, it'll be nighttime again. And yeah, we can come and get the 3rd. Hopefully, I actually got really lucky that time. Was not expecting to get 2 on the first night. So as far as getting them back over is concerned, I think I'm just gonna break this trap door, kind of coerce this guy out and into the boat. Can you do that, my friend? Don't run that way. Run this way. Let me put it back down for you. Maybe there will be close enough. Apparently not. Okay, come on, friend. Please hop in the boat. It's literally right there. There we are. Okay, so if we just sail this guy over, get him in position, and we'll come back for this guy. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm a bit scared he's going to despawn. I'm not sure if they do, if they've been cured like that. Ouch, that actually kind of hurt. If he could just pick up an item, I'd feel a bit safer leaving him be. Can you pick up that arrow? You cannot. I'm gonna hang around just in case he despawns. I really don't want him to. But yeah, I'm gonna take them over and get them in position just over there. Aha! There we go. We are now ready to set sail. Let's get this guy in a boat and I can now take them on over. My friend, hop in there. I said hop in there. Okay, wonderful. Let's go. You guys did great. You were perfectly malleable and compliant, which is what I like to see in a villager. They just let me push them around all over the place, and I've managed to time it perfectly because the sun has now, give it a second, has now set. And I'm ready to go catch the third one. So long story short, I found this guy about halfway through that night and he once again complied very nicely, was no problem at all, and so far going up this staircase he's doing pretty good. It's a bit higher up than the one before, so hopefully he doesn't decide to jump off and I don't push him off, but all we gotta do is just get him in this top part of the villager breeder, which is meant to be the quote-unquote village. And I don't think it really matters where he goes, but I'm going to try just drop him in the center, right on top of that sea lantern, and there we go. Absolutely perfect. So let me just get rid of the staircase here, and then all we got to do is go and get some stuff to feed these guys down here, and then I got to flick this lever, and hopefully babies should start being made. So I am really hoping that I'm going to be able to use some of the crops that the villagers have farmed up for me. First of all, I got to locate them and then make sure the regular vanilla villagers actually pick them up. I don't know if they take beetroot. I'm just looking for like carrots or potatoes. We'll just try a stack of carrots first of all. So you can see how they have the green text here. That makes it a TekTopia item instead of just like a vanilla carrot. So I'm not sure whether they will take this, but there's only one real way to find out. So if we just chuck this on their head and there is... Oh, they did take it. Okay, wonderful. Whether it works or not, or if I've just completely broken my villagers, I guess we will find out shortly. But there's actually a glass block pushed into these guys, so you know, you can throw food on there and they kind of, it just stays in place basically. I don't know why it's there. The tutorial told me to do it. But that's great news that they take TekTopia items. I'm going to go grab quite a few more stacks, hand them out to the villagers, flick this lever, which I guess we can actually do now. That, in theory, makes the village active. Hearts! Hearts are happening. Breeding is happening. That is wonderful. Okay, good. The TekTopia carrots haven't messed up the entire system like I thought they might have. That is great news. I took a quick trip back to Mecklenville and basically raided their supplies for carrots. So they should now have 8 stacks each, which I think is max inventory. So yeah, 16 stacks of carrots in total. The village is active. Hearts are happening. I am now just going to hang around a while and make sure we can get at least one baby villager. This is taking an awful lot longer than I thought it would, so I'm now trying the method of recording them and hoping something good happens on camera. I can only keep this clip going for so long, so villagers, now is the time to do something. Please give me a child. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, come on villagers, 1, and baby. Nope, okay, it was worth a try. I'm now starting to regret giving them those carrots. Admittedly, we're getting the hearts and everything, which is great, but I'm wondering if that's messed them up somehow. And if it has, well, that means I have to get 2 new villagers, because I do not believe there's any way to empty their inventory, but I don't really have all day just to sit around here watching them whilst not doing anything else, so now would be a good time just to leave these guys for a little while, let them do their own thing whilst I go and make a slime farm. No, it's not. I take it back. The baby villager has just spawned, whatever. He's here. I'll explain what we're doing with the slime farm in just 1 second, but yeah, that that was it. That's great. It works. Wonderful. Okay, so this guy has fallen in position. I know it's missed this slot, but the next villager that comes along this side, he will fall into this one. So it looks like we've got a leather worker or a butcher maybe. I'm not sure who that is. Probably not going to be very helpful. He will most likely end up at the bottom of the ocean, but I just needed clarification that the breeder was actually working and the carrots didn't mess them up, which it didn't. Great job, guys. You did it. Now just, yeah, do that some more whilst we go, as I said, make a slime farm. So you may be wondering, why am I building a slime farm? What use do I have for slime balls? Well, we actually need it to make some other farms. Of course, we're going to need a whole lot of items to trade with these guys, one of which is most certainly going to be sugarcane. And I'm fairly certain in this version of the game, the most efficient sugarcane farms you can make are ones that include slime blocks. And I probably have a total of maybe 8 slime balls, something like that. So yeah, we're just super quickly gonna make a slime farm, as you do right at the end of an episode. And yes, by the way, I've put some more minecarts in our chest system here, so we should have enough, I think, for something like 20 villagers, which yeah, pretty much fills out my system here. So it'll be interesting to see how full that is when we're done with this thing. But I have done a little bit of pre-work on this thing. There should be a hole in the ocean. Yep, this is right down here. If I could just fall into here, that would be great. So I've found some slime chunks using a website. Whoop, let's not die. That would be helpful. And I've found 3 slime chunks. So it's quite difficult to explain, but you can kind of see. Right now, I'm running around in a square, right? This isn't actually a slime chunk, the one I'm in right now. If I actually just turn this on, might be a bit easier. So you can see I'm running around in a slime chunk. This isn't one, but we're still going to be hollowing it out. This one right here in a square, going all the way around. This one and this one are. So we got 3 slime chunks all pointing in towards this empty chunk. So the plan is to basically hollow out a lot of this space and make them fall into this open space, collect their items, and yeah, should be pretty simple. So I'm gonna get my beacon over here and get to digging. I was not really aware at how long this episode was getting. Time has kind of gotten away from me, so I've had to skip out most of the slime farm building process, and it's done. Basically, let me go show you what we've actually created here. So it is located on the other side over here. So obviously, this was kind of at a render distance, so in the process, we've only managed to get 3 villagers. We'll come back to that in a second. But yeah, the slime farm is just past our the barracks building over here. I forgot what it was called then, but this is how we get down to where I'm gonna store all of my slime balls, which, as you can see, it is producing, which is very nice. Not too bad considering I haven't even lit up any of the caves around this area. But if I just do some digging through this hole, hopefully we can get inside. So as you saw, I made 3 platforms, or 3 sides with platforms on them, and now all we basically have is a magma floor, so that any slime that fall down here, they will die on the magma blocks. Their slime balls will be picked up by that minecart hopper going around, and yeah, is dispensed into this chest. So what I have also done is, as you can see, let's just get up here and crouch. So here's one demonstrating nicely. Might need to help out with this one before I die, although I should be all good. There we go. So I've got some iron golems in place here, and as you can see, we got some glass panes on all 4 sides. They're kind of invisible because I have connected textures on, but believe you me, they're not falling off those sea lanterns, or at least they're not anymore. They did a couple of times. I lost far too many iron blocks building this because the iron golems just decided to walk off for some reason, but I finally managed to get them in place, and they are basically in between each of the layers here, so all 5 layers that the slimes can spawn on will be able to spot an iron golem when they get about halfway. It's not perfect. It's not anyone else's design. I just know how slime farms work, so I've just done it myself. But yeah, they see the iron golems, they want to attack them, they fall onto the magma here, die, and their slime balls are collected, as I said. So yeah, it's actually working a lot better than I thought it would. I think it's because there's not a whole lot of caves around this area, so I don't really need to light much of it up anyway. But yeah, that is the slime farm all done. Am I going to make it look pretty? No, definitely not. I will only come down here to get slime balls out of the chest. There is no need for me to, you know, replace the sides with nice blocks or anything like that. It's just going to stay as it is right there. So yeah, as I mentioned a minute ago, we haven't really had our villager breeder loaded, so not that many villagers have had the chance to be born from these two right here, but we did manage to get 3, which is better than nothing. So we got a butcher over here, which is kind of not needed, but I'll keep him there for now, just because, well, I got the slots for it. We got another butcher, which is also not needed, and we either have a cartographer or librarian. Hoping for librarian just because we can get some books, but no, a cartographer. But yeah, gonna keep all these guys in place, and in between episodes I'll probably do a little bit more AFKing and just see if we can get up the numbers here, and over the course of probably the next few episodes we can fully stock this with all of the villagers that I want to trade with. So I guess you, merchant, managed to have a purpose for the next couple of episodes, because this isn't gonna be producing any emeralds just yet, and obviously I still need to continue buying tokens and that sort of thing, which hopefully we'll do some more of next episode. I know we kind of haven't even done anything really related to TekTopia today, and I apologize for that, but yeah, just a bit of a one-off episode here, something a little bit different. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That, of course, is where we're going to be ending off today's. It was a little bit of a long one. Hopefully you guys don't mind, or you like it. I don't know. I think you guys who watch TekTopia are fans of when the episodes are a little bit longer, so hopefully you had fun watching. I had fun doing this, minus getting the iron golems in place. That was a little bit tedious, but other than that, it was a good time all round. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.